In this video, we are going to discuss about layer technology in software engineering. We all know what is the purpose of software engineering. Software engineering helps us to build the product with a good quality, and also it helps us to deliver the developed product to the customer within the estimated time. And in this software engineering process consists of different layers. The different layers are tools, methods, process, and a quality layer. So let us see what is the function of each and every layer. So now first we shall discuss what is the use of process layer. So this process layer, it defines the framework that must be established for effective delivery of software engineering technology. That is, it provides what are the things that has to be done to achieve or to deliver a product with good quality to the customer. So here they define the milestones, that is the time duration for implementation or development of each and every module, and also they identify the technology that is going to be used for the development of the software, and also they define the work product, that is what will be the outcome, how the outcome of the product will be, whether we are going to develop a model or whether we are going to provide the output in form of reports or forms, etc. So all those informations are defined in this process layer, and this process layer also ensures the quality of each and every step. And the another layer that we are going to see is methods layer. So in methods layer, the main task is it contains some task that has to be carried out to achieve all those things that we have discussed or defined in the process layer. So this methods contains procedures like how to's for building the software, how we are going to build the software, and for that purpose, they carry out certain tasks like communication, requirement analysis, design, modeling, program construction, testing, and support. So, all these tasks are carried out in this methods layer to achieve those what we have defined in the process layer. And then the another layer that we are going to discuss is tools layer. So this tools layer contains some automated or semi-automated softwares which help us in the development of the software product. And all those softwares, they are collectively called as computer aided software engineering. And the other layer that we are going to discuss is the quality layer. We all know any approach that an organization follows will mainly focus on quality. So, in this software engineering also, importance is given to quality, and for that purpose, they use the methods like total quality management, Six Sigma to monitor the quality and to deliver the product in a more effective way. And next we shall see what is a process in this software engineering. Process, it consists of three things, that is activity, actions, and task. So this activity, it helps us to achieve a broad objective. For example, communication with stakeholders. That is when the development team communicates with the stakeholders, then it will be helpful for them to achieve a broad objective. That is, it will be helpful for them to identify their requirements. So this activity is used, it defines how to achieve a broad objective. And then the process also consists of actions. So the actions consist of tasks that are carried out in order to develop a work product. And then the another one is task. So this task, they focus on small well defined objective. For example, unit testing. So instead of testing the process as a whole product, unit testing, that is, testing each and every module, will be helpful for us to identify whether every module is working properly or not. So this task, it focuses on a small well-defined objective, because suppose if you are carrying out testing in a module by module basis, then it will be helpful for us to find out whether an error has occurred in that particular module, or it will be easy for us to trace that error. But when we perform testing as the whole product, then it will be very difficult to trace the error where it has occurred. So this task, it focuses on small, well-defined objective. So all these things, that is activity, actions and task, they are performed to create some work product, and all these things, they reside in a framework. So here is the framework. So we could see the software process consists of some process framework. So this framework, it has certain activity, and activity in turn consists of some actions, and then each action has some task. So all these things are related, and they all work together to achieve a common objective. Next we shall see what is a process framework. So this process framework, it establishes the foundation for a complete software engineering process by identifying a small number of framework activities that are applicable to all software projects. So this process framework consists of small number of framework activities, and these activities are applied to all type of projects. And not only these framework activities, it also has some other activities called umbrella activities, and these umbrella activities are applied across the entire software development process. So now we shall see what are the different framework activities and what are the different umbrella activities. So the process framework activities consist of five things. First one is communication. So this communication is essential to understand stakeholders' objectives as well as to gather the requirements. Who, Let us understand the meaning of stakeholder. Who can be called as a stakeholder? Stakeholder refers to the persons who are all involved, or who shows interest in the development of a particular product. So for example, when you consider a college, the different persons involved are the management members, the staff members, the students and their parents, and maybe other persons who are involved, who supports in the development of the college. So they are called as stakeholders. So communication, the first activity in the process framework is communication. So with the help of communication, we can understand the stakeholders' objectives, and also at the same time, it is very helpful for us to gather the requirements. And then the second activity is planning. So after getting the requirements, we have to plan. That is creating a software project plan. That is how many resources will be needed to complete that particular project, and what are the tasks involved, and what will be the work schedule, that is how long it will take us to complete each and every module, and finally when can we deliver the product to the customer. So everything will be planned in this second activity. And then the third activity is modeling. So modeling, it is used to understand the software requirements in a better way by in terms of creating models. That is, a prototype is built before giving the full functionality to each and every module. And then the fourth activity is construction. In construction, code generation and testing is carried out. That is, in the previous phase, that is modeling, we have just created a model. but the full functionality to that model is given only during this construction activity by writing the program codings, and also it is tested whether each and every module gives us the correct output. And then the last activity is deployment. So in deployment, the software is delivered to the customer and the customer evaluates, that is, they execute that particular software in their environment and evaluates and gives feedback to the development team. And next we shall see what are the umbrella activities. So the umbrella activities are, now we shall see what is meant by umbrella activities. So the activities that are carried out in the entire software development process is called as the umbrella activities. The umbrella activities include software project tracking and control, software quality assurance, measurement, reusability management, product preparation and project management, technical reviews, risk management, software configuration management. So let us see what all those things refer. Software project tracking and control. It helps us to assess the progress of the software project plan. That is, how much we have completed, still how many we have to complete, whether we are following according to the timeline that we have prepared in the project plan. And then the another activity is risk management. So this is used to assess the risk, that is, whether any risk is associated in the development of the product, or whether any risk is there regarding the quality to achieve the quality of the product. And another one is software quality assurance. So this software quality assurance activity, it helps us to ensure the software quality, whether the quality is being developed according to the quality standards. And another one is the technical review. So this technical review, it helps us to analyze, to assess the work product that has been developed, and it helps us to find out whether there is any error or not. So if there is any error, we can remove those errors so that they are not propagated or carried over to the next activity. And then the another activity is software configuration management. So this activity manages the changes that are occurred throughout the software process. And then the another activity is reusability management. So this activity defines what are the products or the components that can be reused. So it provides some mechanisms to how we can achieve a component in a reusable way. And then the another activity is work product preparation and production. So this activity, it encompasses the activities required to create work products like models, documents, logs, forms and list. And then the what is the process framework activity? So we have seen this process framework activity consists of 5 tasks, that is communication, then planning, modeling, construction and deployment. And also we have seen what is an umbrella activity, and also we have seen some examples for umbrella activity. Thank you for listening.